Offside is the most complained about call in football. Fans argue about it. Commentators argue about it, players argue about it, and half the time nobody in the stadium actually knows if it was right. So here's the question. Why is a rule that's been in the game for over 100 years still this confusing? We're going to fix that, right now, in under 5 minutes. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what offside is, why it's so hard to call, and why VAR somehow made the whole thing more controversial, not less. Stay with me. Let's start at the beginning. Offside exists for one reason, to stop players from just camping near the opponent's goal waiting for a long ball. Without it, football becomes a completely different game, a worse one. So the rule says this. When the ball is played to you, you cannot be closer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second-to-last defender. Usually that second-to-last defender is the last outfield player, because the goalkeeper is almost always behind everyone. Simple enough, right? Well, not quite. Here's where people get confused immediately. Offside is judged the exact moment the ball leaves your teammate's foot, not when you receive it, not when you touch it, the moment it's kicked. So if you're level with the last defender when the ball is played, you're onside. If you're a centimeter ahead, you're offside. 1 centimeter. On a pitch that's 100 meters long. That's not a rule. That's a science experiment. It gets better. You're only offside if the part of your body you can score with is beyond the defender. So your arm doesn't count. Your head, your torso, your legs, those count. This means you can have your shoulder past the last defender and still be onside. Football has a rule about shoulder positions. Let that sink in. Okay, this one is where casual fans completely lose the plot. Being in an offside position is not automatically an offense. You only get called offside if you're involved in active play, meaning you touch the ball, or you interfere with an opponent, or you gain an advantage from being there. In theory, this allows attackers to be in offside positions without being penalized. In practice, it almost never matters because if the ball comes to you, you were clearly involved. But occasionally you'll see a player stand near the goalkeeper to block their view without touching the ball. That counts. That's offside, even though they never touched anything. This sounds simple. It isn't. For decades, this call was made by an assistant referee running the touchline with a flag. One person, moving at speed, trying to watch the last defender and the attacker simultaneously at the exact millisecond the ball is kicked. You know the type, the assistant ref who raises the flag 2 seconds late, or too early, or completely misses it. It wasn't incompetence. It was physically almost impossible to get right consistently. Studies showed assistant referees were wrong on close offside calls more than you'd expect, and every wrong call either disallowed a perfectly good goal or let a clear offside one stand. So football said, let's bring in technology. VAR, the video assistant referee system, was supposed to fix offside forever. Freeze the frame. Draw lines. Get it right. And technically it does get it right. The problem is what right looks like now. Freeze frames with lines drawn across players' armpit lines. Goals disallowed because a striker's knee was 2.3 centimeters ahead of a defender's heel. Celebrations cut off 2 minutes after the ball hit the net. Here's where it gets interesting. VAR made offside more accurate and more infuriating at the same time, because humans understand judgment calls. We do not emotionally accept millimeter defeats. A goal that was clearly offside to a human feels fair to disallow. A goal canceled because of a toenail feels like cheating, even when it's technically correct. The rule didn't change. The precision did, and our brains weren't ready for it. So for the 2026 World Cup, FIFA is pushing semi-automated offside technology even harder. Multiple cameras, tracking points on players' bodies. Decisions in seconds instead of minutes. The goal is to keep the accuracy but remove the agonizing weight. Whether it works emotionally is a different question. Technology can measure a shoulder. It cannot measure frustration, because it's a rule with multiple conditions. It depends on body parts, timing, intent, and positioning, all judged at the same instant. For most of football history, one human being was responsible for all of that in real time. Now technology handles it with terrifying precision, and that precision reveals how chaotic the rule always was. We just didn't have the tools to see it before. Here's the one sentence you need to remember. Offside isn't hard to understand. It's hard to judge. And the difference between those two things is why it's been causing arguments for a century. So the next time a goal gets disallowed and everyone in the stadium looks confused, at least now you know exactly which part of the rule they're arguing about. Was that armpit offside? Was it interfering with play? Did the technology get the freeze frame right? Honestly, don't be surprised if it's still controversial in 2030. If this made offside finally make sense, subscribe, because this channel exists to make sports make sense. More coming soon.